Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on Supergirl Season 3, and this is going to be my trailer breakdown for Episode 6, otherwise entitled Midvale. But of course, before we get into the rest of the video, let's actually watch the trailer for this episode.
Welcome home.
I'm ready to fly.
I remember thinking I would never feel at home on Earth, but I feel at home with you. You and I could get through anything together.
Let me tell you, I'm ready to fly.
You're not the only one with a secret.
Mom?
Supergirl, all new episode Monday at 8, 7 Central on the CW.
So the first thing I want to say is sorry that I did not release a review for Supergirl yesterday for Episode 5, otherwise entitled Damage. I actually had sort of basically made it, and there was just technical difficulties which just stuffed me up and threw me off my loop, so sorry I didn't release it. In regards to my actual thoughts of the episode, I did see some people arguing Phil, but I thought it was a very progressive episode, if that makes sense. Like, it really set Alex on a new road after the Sandvers stuff, ended Maggie's story, but then also had some stuff regarding Lena, also Samantha and Kara as well. So I actually thought it was a decent episode in regards to character progression. In regards to the episode as a whole, it wasn't amazing, it was just decent, but yeah, really, really good in regards to character progression, so you can't really say it was a bad episode. But before we get into the actual breakdown of this trailer, we will quickly go over the synopsis for this episode, as it does give us a bit more of an idea of what's going on in this actual episode. But before we do that, be sure to let me know in the comments section down below what you're looking forward to most in this episode. The trailer looks pretty interesting, and we'll get into that in a second. But yeah, just let me know all of your opinions down there. And of course, if you do go on to enjoy the video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Kara and Alex head home to Midvale for a little R&R. While there, Kara recalls a painful memory of a childhood friend's death and how the traumatic experience brought the Danvers sisters closer together. So yeah, the trailer doesn't really point at anything in regards to a childhood friend's death, so it's going to be interesting to see whether Kara is possibly somewhat responsible for it. Not saying that she murdered the friend, but whether there was an incident where, you know, Kara could have done something to prevent it, or maybe Kara did something which maybe caused it or led to it happening, might I say. I just got my bit of a tongue twister there. But the first thing I want to point out here is that Kara and Alex borrowing Jean's car. I don't know if this is a different car, but it looks very, very, very similar to the one that Jean turned into a spaceship and started flying away. So that'd be pretty handy if they're using it, because it's a pretty sick car. I do like it. Now obviously we're off to home, to where the Danvers are from, and that's Midvale. So we've been here for like, what, one episode back in season 1? Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the only episode I can remember where we went back to Midvale in regards to not necessarily Kara and Alex going back there, but with like flashbacks and stuff, where we saw like Kara's first experience of using her powers properly, which was a pretty interesting episode. I can't really remember what the context of it and why they were having flashbacks to it, but I remember back in season 1 there was an episode like this. But actually coming back here is pretty cool. It's a different episode, because usually on Supergirl we're either on like some intergalactic planet, or we're in the DEO, or we're just in National City. We're really not on location too much. So being able to go somewhere different than, you know, a city or like a alien planet is very refreshing. Now we actually do see young Kara here drawing the House of El emblem. Now I was actually reading the comments for one of the promo channels that uploads the, you know, the promos for the next episode, the actual video comments, and people were complaining like, oh, that's so stupid, what was she designing her suit? And I was like, do you even watch Supergirl, or are you just coming here to complain about the show? Because if you watch Supergirl, you know that Kara, when she landed on Earth, Superman was already Superman. Like, Kal-El had already become Superman by the time she landed, because she got stuck in the Phantom Zone. So I don't know if people were just coming to the comment section to complain, or they just have memory loss and couldn't remember. But that's like, she's drawing that because Superman was already around. She knew that Superman was her cousin. There was no surprise there. So I think she's just drawing it, you know, almost like as a dream. She's dreaming of that. Now we do have new castings and new like actors for the younger Kara and Alex. Now from memory, as I did mention those flashbacks from season 1, I can't remember what age they were. I think they were a bit younger than what this Kara and Alex would be, but they'd be roughly the same. But obviously those actors, because it was 2 or 3 years ago, would have aged a bit and they wouldn't fit this role again. It's like how they've recast the younger Kara who would have been leaving Krypton. Actually, like the old one from like season 1 and I guess season 2 is actually on Series of Unfortunate Events now. So, you know, obviously kids, you know, age, and they have to replace the actor every now and then. And that's what's happened here with the younger versions of Kara and Alex. Now, one thing I'm looking forward to in this episode, and you might have been able to tell because I've mentioned it a couple of times, is the flashbacks. I do love it when shows do flashbacks, especially when it's necessary and it shows like origins or like it shows a decent story. So in this episode, we are essentially getting the origins of Supergirl, and what I'm guessing will happen is that Kara might have said will use her abilities much more than what we saw in the other flashbacks. Really, that other flashback was just her like lifting a car or something like that, and someone saw her. Like, it wasn't too interesting, the other flashbacks, but this one, it does look like Kara will be using her powers a decent amount, discovering more about them. I think that's what they're generally going for in this episode. But this episode could also involve maybe Alex or maybe, you know, Kara's family convincing her to sort of keep her powers under wrap and only use them when something like drastic is happening. Like, don't go around running in the forest jumping and stuff like that. Like, try and keep it to a minimum, if not using them at all. In regards to Kara's family, we don't know if Eliza or Jeremiah, so Kara's adoptive mother or father, will be in this episode. They haven't really said that Dean Cain's coming back to play Jeremiah. They didn't say in the synopsis whether Eliza's back in this episode, so I'm not too sure if maybe they're away. Obviously Jeremiah's gone, but maybe Eliza's gone as well, and that house is free, and that's why Kara and Alex have come there, just to relax and stuff like that. We'll have to wait and see in the actual episode. But then we also have the flashbacks, so it would sort of be weird if like Kara's parents weren't there, so I guess they could explain Jeremiah being gone. But in regards to Eliza, you think she would have to be there unless they don't go home in the flashbacks? I don't know, I'm just wondering whether they're going to be in the episode, because nothing really specifies whether they are going to be in the episode or not. And the last thing to go over from the trailer is that we see Allura. Now, this is interesting because it's in the flashbacks by the looks of it. So is this a vision that young Kara is having? Like, what's going on here? Let me know in the comment section down below what you think's going on. Do you think it's something like some sort of technology where Allura is able to represent herself to Kara? I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. It's weird. I'm just hoping we might get it. I don't know. We might get some rain in this episode, or they might leave episode 7 to set up some more rain stuff for Supergirl, because as I said, well, not as I said, but there's only one more episode after this one before we have the crossover, and then after that is meant to be big, like Rain's big unveiling. So you think they might want to do some more Rain character building in episode 7 and possibly this episode, because there might be another side story back in National City going on, but we'll have to wait and see. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show your support for the video and the channel as a whole. Let me know in the comment section down below what you're looking forward to most from this episode. Sorry I didn't break down too much, but there wasn't really too much to break down from this actual trailer. It was a pretty simple trailer, not showing too much, just showing us the major parts, and as I said, not too much to break down. But yeah, just leave all your opinions down in the comment section down below, and of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.